Well, hello Amy the book lovers, my name is Ash. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here for another installment, hopefully not a failure like last time, but another installment of Romance Raffle, where I will be taking books out of this mug with raffle tickets to determine different romance books I can read. I have 278 now, which if you watch the first video is an increase of 6 books. So I've added 6 books. Even though I reduced 3 books from my first video, I increased it by 6 more, so that means I added 9 since the last video started. So that's not ideal, but we're not going to talk about it. I'm going to be taking out 3 instantly, not looking at them yet, choosing between one of the 3 without looking at what is what, and keeping those to the side. I do have KU for a month again for free this time. I don't really know how, and I didn't know exactly why, but I'm not complaining because KU for free is a great deal. I can still support the authors without giving a single cent to Amazon, so that sounds like a great time to me. I do not want 3 DNFs again. That was abysmal. That was horrible. So the first video I did 3 books. They were all DNFs. And I wasn't even being that picky. I swear I wasn't being that picky. I just didn't like them. It wasn't for me. Hopefully this will change. There are 278 books in here. There are going to be some in here that I might not like. I just want to try them, which is fine because I'm not going to be buying them. So it's fine to just like check them out and see if I like them. But there's also some in here that I honestly think I will adore. That's the most of them. The majority of these I actually think I will like. So that's why I added them to this list and why I added them to this mug. So let's get into the 3 books. Like I said, I'm not going to look at all of them. I'm just going to pick out 3 and see out of the genres, tropes, I guess you can say, what I want from that. Let's get the first one. Let's go with this, A Wide Shoes. This is 493. Okay, that's the first one. We're going to take out a second one. Another Wide Shoes. So that's 493 and this is 610. I swear this better not be another White Shoes. I did say I wanted it last time, so maybe I jinxed myself. There are more pink than anything else. So there's 3 different types. There's purple, which is LGBTQIA+, blue, which is White Shoes, and pink, which is like just normal romance, like monogamy and stuff like that. And that one has the most. So pink has the most, blue has the second most, and purple has the least. So me having 2 blues is actually kind of a surprise because there's more pink. So I'm hoping I get at least 1 pink one because that would be nice to just have like a, you know, basic romance, I guess. I got another White Shoes. I don't know how I feel about this. I have DNF'd 5 books since April, and they are all romances, and I think 4 of them are White Shoes books. So I'm a little bit scared because I don't want to be DNFing more White Shoes books. Do I put this one back and give myself 1 more redraw? Because I honestly do not want another White Shoes. I don't want 3. I want to have a decision. Let me put this back. What was this anyway? Plier. I don't even know what that is. We're gonna put this back and I'm going to take out 1 more. I do not want 3 White Shoes. I don't want to be burnt out and DNF them on purpose. So let's just choose something that's not a White Shoes. So let me just do it again. It's another White Shoes. Okay, let's just do that again. Okay, we got a pink one. We got a pink one. This is 619. We have 610, 619, and 493. So let me put this down and we're going to decide between those 3 what we are going to read. Because I have 2 White Shoes, I think I actually might just choose one of them. And then if I don't like that one, I'm just going to move on to the pink one for now and just choose like a monogamous relationship because I think maybe I might be burning out from White Shoes. Not even burning out from it, more just like not being satisfied with what I'm reading. So I'm going to just pick out one of the White Shoes. 493 or 610, guys. Choose one. This is not like pre-recorded or anything, so you could completely tell me and I could definitely hear you. 493? No, 610? 610 sounds better. It's like an even number. Okay, we're going with 610. So for 610, let's see what this is. I'll show you first, as always, even though you might not care, but hey, I'll do it anyway because you guys are awesome and I want to show you guys things first because you guys deserve it anyway. Let's see what this is. This is by Rebecca Quinn and this is Ensnared. That's not like a spider romance, is it? This does not look like a spider romance. I thought this was going to be like spiders. I was wrong. Thank goodness I was wrong. So this is the first book out of 3. This is a trilogy called the Brutes and Bristlebrook trilogy. This is 430 pages and this was released July of 2023. So this is Ensnared, a steamy post-apocalyptic romance. Let me read not the synopsis, but what this book is about. The Brutes of Bristlewood is a dark-ish post-apocalyptic steamy romance trilogy with 5 love... 5? Oh my god, girl, how do you do that? At the end of the series, you could look forward to a happy ever after, but only after I've appropriately obliterated my reader's nerves, of course. Expect complex characters, first person, present tense, multiple POVs, in the harem. The men are also together. I love that. I love polyamory. We love that here. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I have no idea what this is about though, otherwise, but I'm genuinely intrigued by this. Even if the world did end, 5 men is far too many to handle, isn't it? Yeah, girl, what the heck? I mean, this is a trilogy and there's 5 guys. So that's a lot for 3 books. That's a lot for one person. Girl, are you okay? But I guess if they're together too, at least it's not on one person only. That's insane. So this is like a post-apocalyptic world where the main character is kind of like living on her own, living off the land, kind of doing her own thing. And then a pack of hunters chase after her and into the arms of several large, brutish ex-army rangers. What? These brutes have the nerve to make me the rudest offer ever. Their protection for my body. Okay, well, you know, if that's what it takes, then who am I to judge? You know what? Honestly, it sounds fun. I'm a little bit nervous though, but it sounds fun. So let's do this one. We're going to be reading Ensnared, or I'm going to be reading Ensnared by Rebecca Quinn, and we will come back and see how I feel. I am very nervous, as I mentioned, because I'm tired of not liking the books that I'm reading. But we'll see what happens. As long as I don't DNF it, I'm fine. Let's see what happens in the next clip. Okay, let me be honest with you. It's been months. It's been 2 months. But good news is I'm going to be focusing on these books pretty much the next few weeks because this is going out in July and I'm going to be focusing on this. I'm going to put it on this side because like this background is pretty. This is just a door, so we're gonna put it here. Let's start with one thing and one thing first. Do I like this book? Did I DNF it? The answer is no. Well, no, wait, I didn't DNF it. I do like the book. So good news, I like the book. This is a huge relief because the first video, if you watched it, was 3 DNFs. And the fact that I'm actually liking this book it's a huge relief. I am on chapter 16. I am 41% of the way through. I actually got 2 of my friends to read this, Dory and Lorelai. So if you're watching this, hey girls, hope you're doing good. And if you're not watching this, you are watching this. I know you are. You guys are awesome. Right now, my video editing is uploading for my Stormlight Archive reading vlog, which took me so long to do. Let me show it to you. Look at me. Look at that face. Amazing. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It is currently doing its thing. So that's exciting because that took me months to do, and now I can focus on my romance books. So, Ensnared, what do I have to say about it? Okay, I'm gonna go over all the guys separately, but first let's talk about the book itself. We start off with our main character, Eden, and she's running away because there's terrifying guys that are trying to chase her. I can only imagine in a post-apocalyptic world, it would be terrifying to be anyone, let alone a woman. So she's being chased for nefarious reasons, but then 3 guys show up and help her, and they're interested in bringing her back because they also haven't had a woman in their place for a while. And so you can imagine how that feels for her. She is pretty adamantly against this idea, but then, you know, she starts to warm up to the idea, especially because Beau, who is one of the guys, kind of warms her up to it even more than the other 2, and things lead to another, and now she lives with them. Although there's actually quite a good amount of discussion in this book, and I really want to talk about that. So there's 5 men who had nothing for 3 years. So they went 3 years with nothing. But you would think that she would be in a troubling situation. Luckily, that is not the case. What ends up happening is they actually end up scheduling things with her. So they actually schedule like daily things. So it's like, hey, like every day you can't have more than this amount of people. That would be too much for you. So they don't want to overwhelm her or make her uncomfortable. So it's like a scheduled thing for her, which is maybe weird, but like it is kind of weird actually now that I think about it. But there's also consideration for her, making sure that she is not overwhelmed and like, you know, it's not just like a grab bag for the men. So they are actually pretty considerate of her. And then they also talk about consent and they actually talk about birth control. So they actually go over these things with her, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. You don't see this very often, especially in like a post-apocalyptic world. It easily could have been a pretty dark romance, but it's not that much of a dark romance. Like, yeah, there's some guys that like interesting things and some characters who are a bit, you know, rougher than others, but there's still this dialogue between them that I really love and appreciate, because you don't see this all the time, and I like that about this book. I'm also writing down the smut scenes. So every single time there is a smut scene, I write down what chapter it's in. At the end of every single book, you will see how many times it has happened in the book, and if it's very common or if it's not very often at all, and when. Obviously, if you don't want to know when, don't look. On Instagram, I see people do this where they show the chapters and the amount, and some people like to see it because either they don't want to have a book with a lot of it, or they want to have a book with a lot of it, depending on the person. So I'm going to do it at the end of this. I also have my bingo board. I'm going to do bingo board at the end. Let's talk about the men first. So there are 5 men. Let's go over this quickly. I will talk about the ones that I am okay with, and then my favorite at the end, because my favorite one, I could talk forever about him. I love him so much. We have the first one, who is Lucky. Lucky is a blonde guy. He has a bun. He has a short beard. He's tatted, has dimples, and he's in his late 20s, blue eyes. I like him. He's like the golden retriever, and he's very sweet. I like him. I don't love him, but I like his personality. He's very kind to Eden, so I like that about him. We have Beau, who's similar-ish. He has shorter hair, but he's also blonde. He has a southern accent, who kind of plays it up a bit more for her. It's kind of cute because he thinks that the southern drawl is attractive, and so he thinks that that might win her a bit more. He is also a doctor, or was a doctor before all this happened, and so he has a lot of medicinal knowledge, which I really like about him. I love like a guy that can take care of someone. It's attractive. It's attractive. He has short brown hair, faint crow's feet. He's in his 30s, which is great to see. He's clean shaven, tanned, and has green eyes. So I like Beau. He was the one that I liked in the beginning, but you don't see him as often in the middle of the book, because right now I'm at 40%. I don't see him as much, but I want to see more of him. I like him. I like him. I'll say that. I like him. And then there's 3 more guys left. Let's talk about the ones I don't really care that much for. Dominic is one of them. Dominic, he is tall. He's like longer on the top, short on the sides, you know, the typical haircut you see with guys. Amber eyes, stubble, and he's in his 30s. So I like him, but he's like the very much against the idea of Eden joining them. He was the one that was kind of against the idea of it the most and was like denying it. He had a little bit of a past with a woman, and so he's a little bit more hesitant with the idea of Eden coming in. But also, dude, get with the program. He's like denying it the entire time, and you know he wants to. The first scene when they first get into the house, oh my god, it's so they go into the house, and there's a scene where 2 of the guys do something in front of Dominic, and Dominic is just like sitting there, arms crossed, like looking annoyed, but clearly he's interested, and loved that scene. Loved that scene, especially because those 2 guys I actually liked. So that made me very happy. But Dominic is very stubborn. Although, again, he has reasons to be. You find out later on. I'm not going to say what they are because this is a non-spoiler reading vlog. But I liked my time with him to an extent. I don't love him. I don't hate him. The 4th guy is Jacob. Again, he's probably my least favorite one. I'm just not a huge fan of him. He's tall, stocky. He is like the mechanic of the group. He's kind of a douchebag sometimes. He is like the, not caveman, but he's the most like rough of the group and kind of antisocial. He kind of does his own thing, which I kind of understand and kind of relate to some extent, but he's just kind of not my thing. Like, he's a little too rough, and like, I get it, it's consensual, but still not my type of person personally. So Jacob and Dominic are my least favorite. I like everyone else, although my 5th and final one is my absolute favorite. First of all, he's in his 40s and I'm at 31 years old, so a character in his 40s love to see it. So first of all, he's in his 40s. He has slight wrinkles because of it. Obviously, he has some wrinkles because of it, and it's mentioned, which I love. He has the scent of book, ink, and parchment paper because he loves reading. He was a psychologist before this happened. He has a sweet tooth. He's half Korean, I believe he is as well. I adore him so much. There's a part in the book, again, this is like very subtle spoilers. It's very, very subtle. I promise it's not that big of a deal if you want to read this book. But there's a part in the book where Eden is kind of uncomfortable with the group. So his name is Jasper. Jasper ends up putting books in front of her door so that she can read them, and he annotates them so that like she can see his opinions and stuff. And I think she used to be a teacher, and so she's not loving the idea of people writing in books, but she starts to read the books and get really interested in seeing his thoughts, and she like laughs at the things he's written and all that stuff. It's so cute. Like, he's giving her annotated books. So cute. Jasper also has a relationship with someone else in this group, another male character in this group, which is also very interesting and fun. And he's also the most, he has the most interesting tastes. Supposedly he likes to inflict things on people, and you know, he's more of the dominant type of man, if you know what I'm saying. So that makes me nervous because supposedly he's like very rough, and I'm curious to say the least. I haven't seen him with her yet, but I like Jasper the most. The fact that he gave her the books and annotated and like make sure she was okay. And there's even a part where he kind of used that dominant side of himself in front of her and she was uncomfortable and he instantly was like, oh, I'm sorry, I probably should have asked first. Like, we love men that just don't mind consent. Like, I love that about this book. It's so good. Like, I love the way this is done. It's not overly messed up. I don't know how to explain it. Like, this could have went in a really dark turn and made this very messed up and like forcing things and stuff like that, which I would not like, by the way. But this is actually really sweet and endearing, and the guys are really sweet to her. Dominic, not so much, but still, I want to know more and see them more often because I just need to keep going. Anyway, let me continue this and see how I feel about it, and do any b-roll, any interesting things I'm doing in my life, I will post probably here. If not, you'll just see me talking again, as usual. So yeah, I will be back with you soon. Well, hi. It's been a few days since I updated you, but I have finished Ensnared by Rebecca Quinn. So let's talk about it. Number one, let's just get this over with as to how I felt about it overall. What did I give it as a rating? Well, good news. I gave it 4 stars, which for me is pretty good considering I gave the first 3 books. Actually, I didn't give them anything. I DNF'd the first 3 books in my first reading raffle, and now the first book for this one was a 4, which for me is pretty good. That's like kind of average. I used to make 3 stars kind of like middle ground. Now I've kind of made 4 stars ones I like, but nothing I love. So I really like this book, surprisingly. Only surprisingly because I didn't really expect to love it. I thought it was going to be really fast burn and just insta-love, and maybe a little bit, but it had a lot of moments in it that I really loved and adored. So now that I finished it, how do I feel about the male characters? I usually rank my why choose characters, so if there's like 5 guys, I usually rank them from first to last. Jasper I still like the most, but he kind of got annoying at the end. He's supposed to be the oldest. He's supposed to be in his 40s. I think he's 42. Yeah, he's 42. And so I like him a lot, and I like having an older male protagonist. But the thing is, he kind of just got weird at the end, and he kind of got all like, I'm not good for you kind of thing. And oh my goodness gracious, Jasper, just get on with it. You know you want to. It's fine, whatever. I still like the other guys. I kind of warmed up to Jacob and Dominic. They kind of did get better as the story progressed. But the thing I love about this book the most is that the guys feel all different from each other. They're very separate from one another. And I think the reason why White Shoe sometimes doesn't work for some people is because they all sound the same. They all act the same. They don't have, you know, their own goals or priorities. With these guys, they all feel different. They all have very distinct personalities. And I really love that about them. And like, that's why I like this book so much. The guys are so different from one another. There are some similarities though. There is, okay, a lot of the guys are into, I'll just put BD and then add SM to that to make it, you know, 4 letters together. Almost all the guys are into that in this book, and it's fine. I mean, it's not like my thing, you know. I don't mind that aspect to it, but also it's pretty prevalent in this book. So if you're not really interested in that at all, then I probably don't recommend this at all. I mean, this is a smutty book, has some, you know, spicy scenes, but it's not too bad. It's not too overwhelming. And to me, it's actually a pretty good progression. There are a lot of things that don't happen yet. A lot of the characters don't even end up being with her in the way you expect. They still do things, but they're not doing it, you know, P and V, if you know what I mean. So there's still a lot of things to wait for in the next book. There is at least 2nd and 3rd book, and I'm actually going to continue the series. I am so excited because this is the first time I'm actually continuing a series, and well, for this video project, and I'm happy to do it because oh my gosh, this book ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm a little bit upset by it because, hello, excuse me, rude. I would have continued it, but unfortunately I have other books I need to get to, so I really want to get to the next book of the series so I can continue it and see what happens because it ended off. Why would you end it like that, Rebecca? Why would you do that? But yes, enjoy my time with this. 4 stars again. I want to kind of like talk about quotes and talk about things I'm feeling when I'm reading it. So sorry, this is just a me sitting down thing for this entire book. I do apologize for that. This took me months to actually finish this book. I started in April and it is now July. So I'm hoping to actually, you know, sit down, read the books I'm going to read next, and then talk about quotes and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully the next 2 books will be more interesting when I talk about it and vlog about it, because it's more of like a sit down video talking about the books I read rather than a vlog. So apologies. I also don't do anything in my life. Like, what am I actually doing in my life? Nothing. I just watched some Squid Games season 2. The first season is one of my favorite shows of all time. No joke. Squid Games season 1, one of my favorite shows of all time. Season 2, I'm in the middle of it and I'm bored. Like, it's not even that good. I don't like any of the characters hardly. I don't care about any of the characters. I'm not invested in them. I don't really care about a lot of the aspects of it. I liked the first season because it was just new and the games were really in a pivotal part, and now it's just kind of boring to me. So anyway, side tangent, sorry. That's what I'm doing in my life. I haven't really done much. My mental health has been a little bit down lately. I was supposed to do something today didn't go. I was supposed to do something like 2 weeks ago, didn't go. So a lot of my life is just sitting home doing nothing, playing D&D, reading books, being an introvert, someone that doesn't really go out very often, has anxiety, social anxiety. It's a great time. So apologies, no b-roll right now. Maybe later. Maybe I do something later. Fingers crossed, I do something in my life. But yeah, that's what you do when you don't really want to go out because mental health problems and also no money. You can't really go and buy things, so what can you really do? And it's too hot to go out and on a walk. So what could I really do, people? What can I do? What I can do is read books. Let's talk about this book again. I'm so sorry. I'm going on a tangent. I'm going to talk about what chapters had smut, if you are interested, how many, how often it happens. If you don't want to know, be spoiled, you could just skip this part. But I like to just mention this. This is like a thing on Instagram. I actually quite like it. It makes it really interesting to see how often it occurs in the book. Obviously, when I say smut, I mean it has to be at least something in regards to some type of I don't know how to say it. There are a lot of like almost moments in this book, but there's no actual, there's no finale, as you can say. So as long as there is some type of touch in any regard that leads to something, I will count it. So with those in mind, there's only 6 scenes, full scenes in this book. So 6 chapters, I should say, that have this in it, which isn't that bad considering this is a wide choose. And before we move on to my second book for this video project, we're gonna talk about a little thing I wanted to add because I thought it'd be fun. I forgot to do this in the first episode. So, well, I didn't forget to do it. It's just because I DNF'd all the books, so I didn't get to do it. But for this one, I get to do it. And that is a bingo board. The actual outline was not done by me, but I filled in everything myself. I did all my prompts myself. So this is the bingo board. This is what it looks like before it was completed. So this is all the different prompts I could have chose from. And now that I finished the book, let me show you what type of tropes are in this book. So bam, here they are. This is all the ones I got crossed off while I read this book, so let me talk to them very quickly. One is specific scent. I mean, yes, I think Jasper, which is my favorite guy, has like parchment and ink as a specific scent. Very specific, actually. And there's a few other characters who have a certain scent, so I added that. Dark taboo. It's not that dark or taboo. I just did this anyway because it has like a touch of it. It's like a very small dip in a pond. So I counted it. Still very, very vaguely, but I still think it counts. Nicknames, unfortunately, yes, the guys have nicknames, and they call her a pet at one point, and I don't love that. I don't love that. I understand it has the elements of like, dominant and submissive, but I didn't love the pet name. Literally pet. Not my favorite. I don't usually mind nicknames for characters. I actually like them. But certain ones I'm not as keen on as others. It's also Canada Day, so you might hear fireworks. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. This is horrible timing. Forced proximity. They all live with her in the same house, so forced proximity, 100%. Human growls. Yes, the men growl at some points. Some people hate it. I don't mind it sometimes. It depends. Female main character or male character has tattoos or scars. Yes, definitely. The men definitely have tattoos. Some of them at least. Almost kissed or almost spice. Oh my gosh, this happened at least 3 or 4 different chapters. They almost did things and it never happened. So this is definitely something that does happen in this book. And new book boyfriend or new book girlfriend. 100% Jasper. I mean, I know Jasper's kind of annoying at the end, but I like him a lot. He's a good time, okay? And I'm excited to see him in the next book when he's a little less reserved and annoying. I kind of looking forward to see what he looks like when he opens up. So yes, this is what the bingo board looks like. No bingo yet, but I'm going to use this for all of the different types of books in this. We're going to do one bingo board for each book, and then at the end, we're going to put all of them together and see if we get a bingo. I mean, it looks like we almost already got a few. Like, we have a pretty good amount right now, so there's a good chance of it happening. So anyway, let's move on now to our second book and see what my second one is for this video. I'm really excited about it because, like, I want to keep reading these books. I'm having a fun time. Let me go now pick up the second book for this video so I can see what the next book I'm going to be reading is. Now we're going to be moving on to the second book. Now with this one, I really want to read a monogamous relationship because I kind of want to break from why choose. I love why choose, but I need to break from it, okay? So let's see if this one will actually, make me regret my decision or if it'll be something I actually enjoy. So 619, let's see what the book is. This is by Jade West. This is called Bait. I feel like I've seen this book on a booktuber's channel. Well, I've seen all these books on booktuber's channel. What am I talking about? This is 359 pages. This was released in August of 2017. So this is an old book. And yes, 2017 was old, guys. 8 years ago. 8 years ago was 2017. We don't want to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. Let me just read about what this is about because I honestly don't know. And there's no indication. There's no indication of what this is about. So let me just read it really quickly. A stranger online that knew my dirty desires before I did. A fantasy that should have never been spoken, but he pulled the confession from me. And now he's coming for me. Rough, dirty, dangerous. It's supposed to be the one night to get me up. He'll make me his and I'll pretend I don't want him. I'll run he'll chase because I asked him for this. I begged him for this. The night is the darkness, he's the hunter and I'm the bait. Oh, no wonder I wanted this. You know, like the prey drive thing. When you get chased, you know, that thing. Yeah, I understand why I added this to my list now. I'm a little bit nervous about this one. It's a short book. It's probably going to be very, very to the point and fast burn, obviously. I'm not a fast burn girly, so we'll see what happens. I might just enjoy the process. I don't know if I'll like this one, but we're going to give it a shot. I'm not going to go into it thinking I'm going to hate it. Obviously, I added this to the list for a reason, but it sounds like something my friend would enjoy. We'll find out in a second, I guess. But if I don't like this one, at least I have one more book after this. So let me go and read Bait and see what happens. I want to update you on Bait, but like the fireworks are so loud. I hope they're not too loud. I'm gonna try telling you about my book, but I hate fireworks. They're so annoying and like they're so bad for the environment. They're bad for animals and they're bad for people that have PTSD. Whatever. Regardless, don't like fireworks. I'm sorry. I know I'm a party pooper. It's just the truth. But I have started Bait by Jade West. Before I talk about that though, oh my god, I need to tell you something. So the past 5 days, I've been finding a firefly in my house, which is weird because fireflies, first of all, I feel like are really hard to find nowadays. Second of all, I've only ever seen fireflies once in my entire life, and it was like 1 or 2, and it was like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, and I've never seen one in my entire life until then. So I was like flabbergasted. Well, lo and behold, I've been finding them in my house randomly. Every single day for the past few days, I've been finding a firefly. And finally today, I'm like, okay, let me look outside if I can see fireworks. Because if I'm going to look at them, if I can hear them, I might as well look at them. So I look outside to see if I can see the fireworks from my house. And I saw something way better. It was fireflies. Like, I know it sounds dumb because I should have known they were around, but I didn't see them. And like, I just haven't been looking outside at nighttime because like, why would I really? I don't really look outside unless I have to, especially at night. But I looked outside and I saw little zips of light and I'm so excited. They're so cute. They're so pretty. It's breeding season, I guess, for fireflies. I looked it up and lo and behold, late June, early July is the best time for them. And so it makes me so happy to see them. And like, they're so cute. And I want to look outside all day, but I can't because like realistically, I need to read my book. Also, there's not very many of them. There's only like a few and they're very sparse, but still. Oh, first, my babka. So I made my lemon blueberry babka. It was good, but I think I'd prefer it with like cinnamon swirls instead of blueberry. I like blueberry, but I don't love it. I do like lemon, don't love it. So I think if I made babka with like cinnamon sugar instead, it would be delicious. So I think I'm eventually going to retry it. It took me the entire day though. It took me from 10 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. the entire process because I was still learning how to do it. I did mess up on it, but technically speaking, it still tasted just as good, if not almost as good as it could have. So you know what? That's what matters the most because I did not want to spend that many hours on it just for it to turn out bad. So luckily, it's fine. It's fine. With that aside, let's talk about Bait. I've only just started it. I'm only 9% through, so I don't have much to say. The book started off with Abigail. Abigail is the female protagonist. And then we move on to Phoenix. And for some weird reason, I thought Phoenix was another female character. I was so confused. So the entire time I was reading Phoenix's POV, I literally just thought it was another female character. Because we have first person POV of the male character and the female character. I didn't know that. Come to find out, Phoenix is the guy. So that was my own fault, honestly, my bad. But we find out that Phoenix is actually a single dad. He has a son who's 4 years old, and he has a ex from his past. I don't know much about her yet. It's kind of been like hinted, but there's not a whole lot of information. But he's a single father of a 4-year-old who's having like speech difficulties. And so it's really sweet to see him with his son. And also, like, I like single parent personally. I don't mind children to an extent. I'm not that good with them. I don't like them sometimes. I don't like them most of the time. But I think that I don't hate kids. I don't hate kids. I used to at one point in my life. I don't anymore. And so it doesn't bother me at all. If it's executed well, it's not too bad. So I'm going to see if this is going to be cute. I have a feeling that Phoenix will be a good dad, although I'm a bit worried because Abigail is looking for someone. She went onto like a hookup website needing someone to chase her. And I'm scared, guys. I'm scared. I have to be honest with you. She wants someone to like chase, catch her, and do things with her regardless of what she says. Like she needs this, she says. Because she's dealing with stuff and she needs this. And I'm a bit scared. Like this sounds like it's going to be a bit taboo, like consensual non-con. I'm a bit scared about that because I've only read one book with it and I DNF'd that book and that was years ago. CNC, so technically it's fine, but I'm a bit nervous about it. Regardless, we're going to see what happens. Abigail is an interesting character. She's a female protagonist in our story. She seems to have dealt with a lot in her past. And I think she might have lost her son as well. So I think what's going to happen is that she's going to get really connected with Phoenix's son because it just seems like that's what's going to happen in this book. And it's going to be kind of sweet, I think. Abigail in the first chapter I was cringing a little bit. She goes to a bar and she's with a guy and he's really sweet, but she doesn't want him. She wants one that is monstrous. And so she looks on the other side of the room, on the other side of the bar, and there's a guy with like greasy long hair and a mustache. And he does like a very a vulgar hand gesture to her to insinuate something, and she finds that hot. I know she's like she's in her own mind and it's not a good place, but I read that and I was cringing. And then she goes to the parking lot with him and he's smoking and like she literally just like pulls his hand away and makes out, and like it says that she like sucks his tongue, and I'm like, like he was just smoking. And she's like, he smells like grease and like diesel, and I'm hoping that his thing smells like it too. Preposterous. Listen, I'm not a saint, but what did I just read? It was only the first chapter. I was a little bit afraid, but you know what? So far, nothing has happened to that extent again. But we're going to get to that point soon because he is about to fulfill her needs because she needs to be chased and she needs to feel free, I guess, for a little bit and just forget about everything. So we're going to get to that soon. I'm a little bit scared. We are only 9% in. What can go wrong? I shouldn't have said that. It's famous last words, I know, but I shouldn't have said that. Well, we're going to find out. I'm going to stop now. I'm going to not look outside even though I want to see the fireflies. I'm not going to, but I'm tempted because they're so cute and so pretty. They're so sweet. Also, the ones at my house, I want to let you know, the ones from my house, I always release them. I try to release insects as much as I can, like jumping spiders. We have a lot of spiders in here because I don't know why. It's like an old house, so for some reason they like it. So I've been releasing them as much as possible, and every single time I see a firefly, I release them. So I do my best to release insects when they're in my house. Sometimes I don't, but for the most part I do because I don't like to kill things. I feel bad about it. So I just let them out. I'm going to continue this. It's going to be a late night because there's going to be fireworks all night and I don't know if I can even sleep. So I'm going to continue reading this. If I have any interesting updates, I will update you then. But until then, I'm going to stop talking and get to reading. Hello, I got a little thing in the mail today. So a little bit of a sidetrack about my video. Lorelai, who has been a very kind person on my channel, a friend I would call her now, someone I met because of one of my videos, sent me something and I am so nervous and excited to see it. I'm gonna try not to cry. I might not, it depends on how I feel. So I'm gonna open this, make it not too quick because I need to make dinner, but I said I was gonna open it, so I'm gonna open this now. But I'm not gonna show the front, obviously, because our information is on it. But look at Pochita! Pochita! Like that one over there, see that one? Is there a way to open this without hurting the sticker? I did it. Look, I didn't rip it. I'm so happy. I might read the note to myself. I could ask her, but I'm gonna read it to myself first because I feel like it's personal. Oh my god, it's so cute. Okay, I can't read this. Let me see what's in this. excited. Okay. Okay, first the bookmark. Oh my god. So cute. Look how cute it is. Oh my god. Reminds me of like a little druid. It's so cute. The next time I'm reading a physical book, I'm gonna have this in my live streams because she's always in my live streams. Anyway. Little stickers. What is it? She knows me so well. Accurate. Accurate. Lately I've been playing so much D&D and I've been the dungeon master for a lot of them. So this is so freaking cute. Where am I gonna put this though? I might put this on my computer. I love like the little cat theme. It's so cute. See the little star? Okay, okay. Okay, I'm gonna read this now. Let's see if I cry. Oh no, Lorelai, shoot. Okay, I said I wouldn't cry. I lied. Okay, just a little bit, just a little bit. Lorelai, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate some of my viewers. I appreciate so many of my viewers, and the people in this community have literally saved me. I've said this a few times, but I joined BookTube when I moved out of my family's house and I was very lonely, and so I joined this community and joined BookTube for the people. And I've just been so blessed for meeting so many amazing people in here. So thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Lorelai. You are so sweet. But thank you so much. I'm obsessed. I have to show my boyfriend when he wakes up. He's gonna be so happy. Thank you all for just being here, just watching. I honestly appreciate you guys so much. So yeah, thank you so much for everything. All right, back to the video. I'm gonna go make myself dinner now and talk to Lorelai and say thank you to her. So I'll go and do that now and see you guys in the next clip. Oh my God. Hi, I'm in my bedroom. I think this is the first time I've actually filmed in my bedroom. That sounds really bad out of context, I'm sorry. 26%, I made it to a quarter of the way, and I'm afraid because we're at the part where he's chasing her. This is gonna be the moment where I feel if I DNF or not, because I'm already not sure how I feel about it. Actually, I think I do know how I feel about it. It's not very positive, but I'm gonna try keep going, and honestly, part of me kind of likes the drama. Let me know if you like rant reviews, drama, nothing to do with, you know, BookTube in general, but just talking about books, just getting off your chest. Sometimes I'd like to do that. I do feel bad for the authors though. I don't like to, you know, hate on authors, but sometimes it just feels so therapeutic to just talk about a book you don't like. But we kind of got to the part where we've been anticipating, I think, not me, but I think the main character has been anticipating. She is going to now be chased. So oh boy. So our male character, I forgot his name, is going to finally chase after her. And it's been a quarter of the way through the book, and this is kind of like the whole premise of the book where, you know, this is gonna happen to her. I'm deeply afraid because we already know that she already asked about interesting things, you know? Interesting things have been asked from him to do to her. I'm a bit scared. And he also has piercings. And I don't mean on his face. I mean on, you know what I mean? I feel like that's really rare in real life, but I've seen at least 5 books with this kind of thing in it. Why? Why are you doing this? That sounds painful. But anyway, I'm gonna read this on camera to see if there's any reactions. If there's any interesting quotes, I'll read them out loud. But I'm afraid because this is when things are about to happen. And I don't know if I can last. I don't know if I can last. She will not last. I don't know what I'll do. So we'll find out. Also, the fan is on. I do apologize. So I hope it's not too annoying and not too loud. Let me read and react and also tell you some quotes as I go. So let's go and do that. Get comfy and read some books. Okay, I have to say something about romances randomly. Side tangent. I need to talk about this for a second. I think I mentioned this on my channel before, but I need to talk about it again. I'm kind of tired of the whole, like, how do I explain this? I feel him bigger than anything I've used before, bigger than I ever feared, what I ever hoped. Why is there such an appeal with having like a large appendage that's like so big it hurts? Why is that appealing for some people? I mean, okay, maybe not for like the book characters. If you like that, that's fine, but like, I hate it. It's not unrealistic, but it's annoying. It's annoying. As someone that would not want that, can we please stop doing that for characters? I understand it's supposed to be like this, oh my god, he's so perfect. He has like the perfect thing, and you know, it's freaking the size of a Coke can, and it's 3 on top of each other. No, there's no appeal in that. I'm sorry, but I'm so tired of that in romance novels. Nothing is wrong with being average. Honestly, that's actually the ideal. So let's think about that, all right, authors? Let's think about that. I'm sorry, I just hate how it's like almost always happening in romance books. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Anyway, let me keep reading the chapter. I only just started it. I need to stop complaining and just read. I'll never know. I can't even say it. I'll never know the stranger in the darkness, but my fingers will. What? Ew, I don't like this. It's not for me. I'm gonna keep reading it, but it's not for me. I'm a little bit unsure. It's CNC. I think the problem is that this types of books, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but he asks her, do you want a safe word? Which I would recommend if you are doing this kind of thing, CNC, or anything that's like really intense, please use safe words, please, just please do it. But she's like, I don't want one. There's nothing wrong with having a safe word. You know, it's not hot to have a safe word. It's fine. It's okay to have that. It's a safety precaution, and you should have that. This is a stranger. He does not know her, and he's just doing this thing. He's never actually met her before. They only spoke on messages. It's just not safe. You have to have a safe word, girl. Ugh. To be completely fair, she doesn't seem like she's doing well mentally. She needs a really strong psychiatrist and help, but instead she's getting this, which is not technically going to help her in the long run. It will help her temporarily, but not in the long run. Maybe at the end of the book she will have, you know, help and a therapist or a psychologist or someone that can help her. Because right now, I don't think his pierced appendage will help her in this matter. But hey, here we are, I guess. Yeah. How much? How many inches? Just tell me, because how is this? How is it that big? Like how? Like, is it like the size of my bottle? Is it like this? What? I don't understand. I go as deep as I can without tearing her. Tearing? What? Wait, what does that say? I realize that she's inside of me as deep as I am. I realize that she's inside of me as deep as I'm inside of her. He's talking about how she's emotionally deep within him, and he's physically deep. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have read a good amount of smut in my life. I will say this. I am a connoisseur since I've been like 18 years old at least. That was okay. It was okay. I don't really have much to feel about that book. I'm like 30% in. I mean, I just updated you last. They just did that thing that he said that he was going to do, and it happened. It was fine. I didn't feel much toward it. I'm gonna read as much as I can, and if I have more complaints, I will start to ramble about it, because that's actually kind of interesting to do. I find it to be kind of fun sometimes to read books and just talk about why you didn't enjoy it. So I might do that actually. But maybe something good will happen, okay? Also, no protection was used, and they never discussed this beforehand, and who knows what's gonna happen. He already has one kid. Maybe there's gonna be another one. I already say on my channel, I don't mind pregnancy in my books. I think if it's done well, I like it, but a lot of the time it's not done well, and I'm a little bit afraid, but we'll find out. Maybe it'll be okay. This is giving like 2.5-star energy, but you know what? I'll keep reading it, come back to you when I have updates, because I'm curious. If you want to know a single paragraph that explains this entire book, this is it. This explains the feeling you get when you read this book, and it's not a great feeling. I'm sorry, but it's just the truth. Well, guess what I just did? I'm DNFing bait. I cannot do it. I am 30% in, and I have no interest to continue this. I am honestly just pushing myself to do this at this point, and I don't want to do that, so I'm DNFing bait. It's annoying, but at the same time, I don't mind doing it because DNFs are fine. They're good to do. So this was a DNF, 30% through. I could not get to it, okay? I couldn't do it. I'm currently on chapter 12. Do you want to know how many times there has been smut in a chapter? Let me tell you how many times. Like any type of spice. I just call it spice because like anything that revolves around something intimate doesn't have to be with someone else. A lot of the ones in the beginning of the book were like self-done. They were all on their own, and they were just so pointless and so annoying and so over the top, and just like, why are they always doing this? Like, can we just This book reminded me how demisexual I am, because I was reading it and just, I like smut in my book. I like intimate scenes in my books when I read romance. But I like it sparingly when it's done well and between couples who I actually feel a connection between. Like a real life situation. Like I said, I'm demi, so I like when there is a relationship between the characters. These two, it's just nonstop. She doesn't even know who he is, but she wants to do these things, and it's just like, it's not for me. So within the 12 chapters I read, or actually I didn't even finish chapter 12. I've stopped in the middle of chapter 12. In the 11 chapters I read, do you want to know how many smut or spicy scenes were in 11 chapters? 6. 6 in 11 chapters. So out of 11 chapters, 6 of them had to have something that was talking about either, you know, self-love, or the 11th chapter, which was them meeting each other for the first time. I was just so bored of it. It just 6 times, that is over half. And the last book I read, which is Ensnared, which had only I think around 7 in the entire book, this already had 6 in 12 chapters, which is only 30% of the book. I just so bored of it. It's so boring. It's not, in my opinion, well done, and I just couldn't get into it. So not for me, not for me. So this is a DNF at 30%. I'm not regretting it because just not my kind of book. But let's talk about what is on the bingo board. Now, I know I didn't finish the book, but I'm still going to do the bingo board just for fun. This one had dark taboo. Definitely has some dark taboo elements, more so than the first book I read. Female main character or the male main character has scars or tattoos. Yes, the male character in this book has tattoos, of course, and I think scars as well. And one that actually was not marked off in the first book is single parent. So at least I got one new bingo spot on this board. It does suck that I DNF'd it, so I don't really know if there's any other ones that get marked off, but you know what? It's not worth a bingo. Especially because, like, I don't get anything from a bingo, it's just for fun, so I'm not gonna do it. It's not something I'm gonna force myself to do. But that, though, we're going to get onto the third and final book. Hopefully this is not a DNF. I'm really hoping I won't get another DNF because I just need a break, but Ensnared was a really good time. Bait wasn't my favorite, but maybe the third book and final book will be good. Fingers crossed. So let's move on to the third book and see if I enjoy it. We are here for the third and final book for this video. Now, this is a why choose one. I didn't look at it yet, so I'm very curious as to what this one is going to be. This is number 493, which is actually pretty good numbers. 4 and 3 are some of my favorite numbers. So you know what? This one has potential to be good. We'll find out in a second, but it has potential. It better be good. I swear, it better be good. Let me show it to you first, and then we will talk about it again, as usual. This is by Mistry, and this is Beyond the Faerie Gate. This is one I wasn't sure if I wanted to read because the cover just didn't seem like my vibe, but I think I remember adding this because of a certain reason. I don't know what the reason exactly is. So this is book 1 out of 5. The 5th Nicknaven, I think that's how you say it. I have no idea how to say it. Okay, don't ask me. This is 416 pages, and this was released June of 2022. Let me see what this is about. A secret kept, a queen hidden, and her warriors lost. Afflicted by mysterious and terrible illness that's haunted her since childhood, I resigned myself to living life as a burden to my family. Until a Fae knights come to my village and tell me that everything I know is a lie. It seems impossible, but he swears that I'm the Fae queen, raised in the mortal realm for my own safety, and the time has come for me to return to the Faerie and rule. Only my queendom isn't what it once was. It's fractured, divided, broken, and the men of my royal guard, a group of deadly and eccentric warriors sworn to protect me, have disappeared, scattered in the wind, and I have to reunite them if I have the chance of surviving the war that has consumed the land and the invaders at our gates. Wait, it sounds kind of good though. So she's like a queen, she doesn't know it, and she has royal guards that she has to find because they've been scattered. So this is a kind of a bodyguard romance, in a sense. She's a queen and her royal guards are with her. You know what? This one is like the most exciting so far on this list. So that gives me hope. Gives me a little bit of hope. Just a smidge of it, okay? So we'll see. Let me go and read it and see how I feel about it. I started Beyond the Faerie Gate yesterday, and I'm 20% through. I should be a bit more of the ways through tonight, but I wanted to update while the sun was still out, so that way I'm not updating in the dark again. So, about the book, a little bit about the book, just to tie in what this is really about. We already talked about the synopsis of it, so you already have an idea of what this is about, but this is following Roswin. She goes by Rose. I'm just gonna call her Rose. And Rose is our female protagonist. She believes that she is a human as she lives in the human world, but one day a group of people chase after her and she runs to get help, and a wolf jumps out and attacks the people that were going after her. And he tells her, when he's a person again, because he's a shifter, you actually are from the Fae world and you have to return because you are the queen, and if you go back you will restore the place to how it used to be, because it used to be full of life and plants and all that, but because she left, her like family history of the Nicknavens are the ones that kind of keep the Fae world alive. And so now that she's 25 or about to turn 25, she's the first century of her life. Now she's an adult by Fae standards. They're going to bring her back, and she's going to bring it back to prosperity. So where I am at the 20% mark is that she just got into the Fae world. I'm not going to obviously talk about too much spoilers or anything. This is like vaguely what it's about and kind of how it starts. And we start off with the first male character. I don't know if it's Jaro, I'm not exactly sure. His actual name is Jaromir or Jaromir. Jaromir sounds a bit better. I'm just going to call him Matt. And Jaro is a wolf shifter, like I mentioned. He has like wavy hair that goes to his shoulders, and hazelish eyes or like chestnut eyes, which is very typical for a shifter. And of course he shifts into a wolf. And so we have our first male character. He's the first one to introduce to her. And right off the bat, I don't know if it's a spoiler. I don't think it is because it's very traditional of Fae books, but he is her mate. And I believe all the knights are going to be her mates because he is one of the knights and she has 5 total. The knights actually swore an oath when she was born, which is a little bit of an interesting concept. So they actually knew who she was when she was literally born, and they were all a few decades old at the time, at least. I don't know how old the other guys are, but Jarrow is 97 and she's 25. So when he was in his 70s, she was born. I know Fae lived thousands of years, so it's like not as weird, but it's still a bit odd. I'm trying to like forget about that and just ignore it so that way I can enjoy the book still. And so that's Jarrow, or Jarrow, or whatever the heck his name is. And then we have Dristan that gets introduced. I won't talk about what he is or what his kind of Fae powers are. He is the more broody of the two, of course he is. He is the one that's a little bit more standoffish. He's kind of telling her to like, he wants distance from her, although there is a scene where they kind of are forced to kind of interact with each other. But for the most part, he's trying to kind of ignore her and have her get away from him. And it's obvious that obviously he wants to like her and wants to do things and like be with her, but he's resisting it. And I kind of love that kind of trope. It's annoying, but it's a trope nonetheless that I kind of enjoy. Nonetheless, I like him. He rides a horse. He's part of the winter court and Jarrow is part of the spring court. If you think about this, yes, this is kind of ACOTAR-esque. There is like the autumn, spring, winter, all that stuff. There's like the mountains, I think that's where like the Unseelie are, or the Seelie, I forgot which ones. So there is a little bit of ACOTAR and, in my opinion, Folk of the Air trilogy. So it's like Folk of the Air trilogy and ACOTAR kind of together. So I mean, it's not identical, it's not copying or anything, it's just that it kind of have similarities. So if you like those series combined, you might like this. I don't know. I don't really exactly know how I feel about it right now. It feels like I'm a little bit ambivalent on how I feel. I like the concepts and ideas, but I don't know if I like Rose very much. I'm kind of having a hard time really getting into her head and enjoying her as a character. She's a little bit stubborn, but like I like stubborn female characters because I am a stubborn one myself. Thank you very much. And I like seeing that in characters, but sometimes it gets a little bit too much for a protagonist. That being said, I still want to try to like her. She's also very ignorant and everything, so I'm hoping that eventually she'll become a bit stronger and know what she's capable of doing, and she is going to be a very strong character later on, but right now she's kind of not really sure how everything works exactly. In the beginning of the book, she has been kind of thought to be human, and she was like wearing iron and things that really weakened her, and so she thought her whole life she had a chronic illness and she was fainting all the time, and she used a cane to walk around. I think that later on that will be absolved because that stuff will be removed from her. They already removed it from her so that she can have her Fae powers back. And so I kind of at the beginning liked that there was a character who had like potentially a chronic illness, but I do think that goes away later on, which is almost kind of unfortunate, but I get it for the story as to why that happened. It's not like she randomly magically got better. It's just that she had things that were weakening her. So I get it. So I'm curious what the other guys will be like and if I'll like them. So far, I don't have much feelings about either of the guys. So I'm curious to keep going and see how I feel about them later on. But yes, real life stuff. I've been cooking a lot. I've been baking a lot. Oh my gosh, I made banana bread yesterday. Oh, Sally's Baking Addiction. It's a website. I am obsessed with her recipes. They are so good, and I've been baking more than I have in my entire life, and I don't think I have a single recipe where I actually disliked it. So I am obsessed. I think tomorrow I'm going to make the next baking challenge. It's like strawberry. I'm making the alternative, which is like the strawberry cupcakes. So I'm going to make strawberry cupcakes tomorrow after my sprints, and I made pizza dough, fresh pizza dough, and it tastes delicious. So I'm going to start making like fresh food from now on, try to make my own breads, also try to get bread that's like less processed. I know I'm going to try my best. When it comes to eating healthy, I'm not the best at it. I've always wanted to though, but I've always had a really hard time just being motivated to do it. So I'm going to try my best to kind of get into that. So if I have any baking or any kind of video footage, I will show more here. I already did some earlier, but I might do some more again if I want to. But if I do anything else interesting, I'll show you. I'm going to Bulk Barn tomorrow. So if I remember, I will record my Bulk Barn tomorrow. If you don't know what Bulk Barn is, it's a Canadian company where you buy things in bulk and you actually weigh things and get it weighed in order to determine how much it's going to cost. And we have one where you can use jars. So we're going to use some jars so that way we don't use any plastic and refill our jars up, get some stuff that we need. I need brown sugar for my recipes. My boyfriend wants to get some cereal and stuff. So tomorrow we will grab some stuff from Bulk Barn, I think. So maybe I'll record from there if I remember to. If not, it's fine. Anyway, back to the book for a second. There is a map, which is actually pretty. I actually like the map I showed you in the beginning. And there's also a glossary that shows all the different types of characters, different types of fae, different types of like the locations of where all the courts are. It's actually really interesting. I also believe that this is a queendom and their deity is a woman, so they see women as like more of a godly thing, and they do not like how humans are more patriarchal and are a lot obviously more sexist toward women. And honestly, I love that. So rambling aside, I will continue this. I'm gonna read this right now. I have a few hours for the rest of the night. I have a lot of time. I'm really hoping I can just zoom through this and try to see if I like it. This has potential for me to like it. I don't know if I like it right now though. 20%, I don't know if I have enough of a grasp on if I enjoy it or not. I don't know yet. I want to meet the other guys, and I also want to see the other areas, and I kind of want Rose to kind of develop a bit more and learn about this place before I judge her or the people around her. One really good thing about this book, and the reason why I think I'm giving it a shot, even if I don't feel strongly about it right now, is that it is slow burn. I am so happy that it is slow burn. I don't think there's going to be much spicy or like intimate scenes in this book, and I'm so happy because I like slow burn. I want this to take at least one full book, if not more. This is at least a 4-book series, and I wouldn't even be mad if it took 2 whole books for anything to happen at all. Like maybe like a kiss or something, but I like when it's slow. I like them to just like hold hands in book 1. Maybe just like a peck on the lips, or just like a nice, you know, cuddle scene, or like maybe a nightmare scene. That kind of stuff I love. I don't want them to be starting to, you know, I don't want them to be like jumping on each other at book 1. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the pacing of the slow burn works in this book. There has been a bit of like an insinuation about certain things, very, very faint, and it seems like they're trying to kind of like not worry about that right now. They're like, hey, let's focus on other things right now. This is not important. I kind of respect that. So I'm going to go and read now. Again, if I have any b-roll, I'll show you some. If not, you're just gonna see me talking more. And honestly, I hope that's okay because this is why we're here. So hopefully you don't mind me talking too much because I do that quite a lot. There's a dog barking in the background. I'm gonna head off now and read a book and come back to you soon. See you then. Hello, it's the final update before the final update. So it's my second to last update before we end up stopping the video. Before the outro happens and before my final thoughts of all the books I've read, including this one, we are going to be talking about Beyond the Faerie Gate. I am 72% of the way through, so I'm almost done. Also, sorry, my hair is chaotic and frizzy because I just showered and I air dry my hair. So anyway, sorry about that. So all the rest of the men have been introduced. Cade is kind of technically a bad guy. I'm not gonna say too much, but he's kind of the enemy, but that's her mate. So it's kind of fun. The next one is Lorcan, but he goes by Lore. And Lore, I don't know how I feel about him. In like the most chaotic male character I've ever read before, and I kind of love it. I don't really know why. He also has red eyes and white hair, and that's like my kryptonite. I mean, Astarion from Baldur's Gate, Silas from Love and Deep Space, those are my types. So the fact that he has white hair and red eyes is just immaculate. The problem is he is absolutely insane, and I don't know how I feel about it. Like he's a red cap, so he dips his hat in blood so he can kind of like regain energy. That's his way of kind of surviving. So he's a red cap, which is really interesting because Jude's adopted father was a red cap, and it just feels weird like having a romantic sense of this kind of character. Very interesting for me at least. And so I kind of like the idea of that, like having all these different kind of fae beings and what their kind of story is and what their kind of characters are, and I'm kind of enjoying that aspect of it. He's a bit strange. He blinks around so he can just like grab someone and just go anywhere they want just in the blink of an eye. So he just like blinks around the room, and he's very bad at socialization with her. Very bad. Part of me is like, is he just like so secluded that he doesn't really know how to communicate with people? I have no idea what's wrong with him, but I kind of am living for it. Like when he sits down on tables, he sits on tables with his shoes on, and he'll like crouch while he's sitting on the table. He sounds like a feral animal, and I'm kind of loving it. He's also the most forward with Rose. He tends to be the one that is kind of moving the fastest. Like he already kissed her at this point in the book, and that's kind of fun. So I like Lore. He's a bit much, but I kind of like him. I don't know how I feel. He pushes a bit of boundaries, so people might not like him, but I don't mind it personally. So yeah, he's also my type. So I'm a bit biased, I'll be honest. But that being said though, going back into the kissing thing, there's nothing yet. There has been no steam. It has been insinuated, has been mentioned that they would like to do things eventually, but it has not happened yet, which actually for me is amazing. I love slow burn. This is slow burn. This is slow burn. They've only had one kiss. Lore kissed her once, and that is it in 72% of the book. So if you like slow burn, romantasy, why choose? This might be for you, although I have a few criticisms. But first, let's go to our last guy. The last guy's name is Bree Crew, although he goes by Bree. Bree seems really sweet. I do feel bad for him though, but I do like him. He is not too bad. I like him a lot. He's interesting. He's an interesting character. So far, my least favorite character would be Jaro, because he's just not interesting to me. He's like the shifter, stereotype kind of character. He's fine. I don't really usually like the softest ones. He's like the sweetest one to her and always so gentle with her. And I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with me that I don't like that, but like I usually don't. So not my favorite person. But still, I can warm up to him. I'm just not loving him right now. That being said, let's talk about a little bit about the book itself. So what has happened so far, or like without spoilers, what's happened so far? So Rose can't read. There's been a few similarities to Akatar, just a little bit. Bree kind of reminds me of Rhysand a little bit, just a little bit, with all the tattoos and the trauma of his backstory and that kind of stuff, just a pinch. And then Rose can't read because supposedly she just never learned to read, which I don't really know how. Like, I don't really know how she never learned, but whatever. So she can't read, which reminds me of Faerie a bit. For the second time in this one vlog, I've only read 3 books in this entire vlog, and somehow the nickname Pet has been used again. What is up with this? It's not used very often, I will be honest with you. If you don't read much romance, or if you do, it doesn't happen very often. Pet is not a usual name that people give to their spouses or partners. I would never call my boyfriend that. If he called me Pet, I would probably want to whack him upside the head. What does that mean? No, I'm not a pet. Regardless, Lore calls her this, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Stop saying Pet. It's not a cute nickname. Maybe it's supposed to be like, you know, a little spicy nickname. I hate it. I just hate it. No. And then there's also been mention of babies and pregnancy, and she's going to go through a fever soon. So she's never had a period. She's 25 though, which is like the age of maturity for Fae. And so now that she has reached maturity, within the year she should go into her fever, which is going to be an interesting one because they mentioned it's pretty much like, if you know Omegaverse or like the Omegaverse sphere, it's pretty much like going into heat. Essentially, they're going to be rabid animals, and they mentioned that this is going to be a problem later on because she has never been with anyone before, and so they're worried that they don't want that to be the first time for her. So they're probably going to do something before that time, so that way it's not going to be like a very traumatic / forced moment between them all. It's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. I'm not mad about this information. Listen, I'm not going to pretend that I'm against the idea of this because I'm not, but I understand that some people might not like this. And also there has been mention of children. So eventually Rose is going to in a far away from now, will have to have a daughter because every Nycnavan is a woman and they get passed down every single time one of them passes away. They live a very, very long time, by the way. Nycnavans can die, but they come back very painfully, but they can come back and they're just constantly reborn until they decide to actually not be reborn. Rose can go thousands of years before she actually ends up dying. And when that happens, she will give birth to a daughter. Until then, she can only have sons. So Fae, it's very rare for Fae to have children because Fae live for so long, it's very rare for them to have children. And so if she has children before her daughter, she will only have sons, which means there could be potentially a pregnancy trope within the series. I wouldn't be mad myself, but I know that some people might not like that. And because they mentioned a fever and they mentioned, oh, it's really rare for them to have kids, it makes me worry that like eventually it might actually happen. Which, not worrying to me, but people that might not like it. So if you do not like that type of thing in your book and you are thinking about picking this up, just be aware that that is going to maybe potentially happen. I don't know yet. I haven't continued the series yet. And I think there's 5 books, I think. So just letting you know, it's a possibility. That being said though, I am going to read this. I don't know exactly how I feel about it. I'm giving it, like right now, I'm 70% through, and it's like a 3-star energy. It's not bad. I like the concept. I like the ideas. I love that it's slow burn. It's just that it's not hitting the way I want it to, and it's not that unique for a romantasy book. I feel like I've definitely seen this before, and it's getting a little bit monotonous. I do like ideas, and I like the concepts, and I like the characters. I really want to like Rose more though. I don't think I like her that much, which makes it a little bit hard for me to get into it. But I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to finish this. I'm definitely going to finish this book. Definitely. I just don't know if I'll continue the series. I think I might at least try book 2. At least. I think I'm going to at least finish this book and try book 2. It's like a high 3 stars. 3 stars for me is like a little bit above average. It's something I like. It's good, but it's not great. And so I might right now give it a 3. Depending on how it ends, it might go a bit higher. But right now it's very 3-star energy. So I'm going to finish it now, or I'm going to finish it soon. I should be done it very shortly, probably within the next 2 days, and then I will end the video off, tell you how I feel about it, do my little bingo board, which this book has a lot of bingo board prompts already filled off. Oh my god, it's actually insane. And once I do that, we will finish the video so that we are not here. It's already been like an hour of this video footage. I'm so sorry. It's been over an hour. So I do apologize for making this so long, but I'm having a fun time with it. And so I'm not going to complain too much or say too much of an apology because I like this. It's fun for me and I'm liking my time doing this. I like trying new books, trying smaller authors, and kind of like showing and talking about these authors because they deserve a little bit of attention. Even the ones I DNF. If someone picks up a book that I DNF'd and it gives the author another chance someone else might like it, that makes me happy. It genuinely does. Maybe some of the things I've criticized about some of these books in this series, people would actually like. So, hey, all the power to you guys. Chapter 30, I should be done soon. I will let you know how I feel about it overall. I won't talk about what happens the rest of the book because it would be spoilers. So from this point forward, no more talk about what's in the book, unless it's like some out of context quote. But other than that, we're going to just go into the ending in the next clip. So hopefully I liked it. Let's see what I say in the next clip. As long as the 3 stars are higher, I'll be happy. Fingers crossed. And with this clip, we are finally at the end of my romance raffle. I am done. I read the 3 books I wanted to read, which means I have finished Beyond the Faerie Gate. This is done by Mistry, and my final rating for this book. I gave it a 3.5 stars, which is actually a bit higher than I expected. I was expecting to give this like a 3, but I gave it a 3.5. So you know what? That's a plus in my book. I quite like this book. I had fun with it. I think it was just a fun, quick time. Like I said, a little bit of cliches, a lot of tropes, but I still had fun with it. I also liked the characters. Rose as the main character, didn't love, but I still liked the guys, and at the end of the book I kind of started to get more interested in the story, and it was a little less world building and Rose trying to figure out the Fae world, and it was a lot better in my opinion. So I liked it by the end, and so I'm going to give it a 3.5 stars, which is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna really talk overall about the book. I already kind of did earlier. I've talked way too much about this book, so let's just quickly get into the next part. I will say though that I liked this book overall. The ending was good, but there's one thing I really want to talk about, and I am so excited about this. This book had no smut at all, not even a single scene. There was only one scene where there was like heavy making out and groping, but that was it. Or like touching. I hate the word groping. There was like touching, heavy petting, and making out, and that was it. So there's actually no smut in this book, and only 2 of the guys actually end up kissing her. So I am pretty happy about that because I love slow burn. Some people hate it, and I don't know why. Like, I feel like there's so many Insta-love books, and there's so much Insta-less books that it's just nice to actually have slow burn in books finally again. I feel like I hardly ever see this where it's actually a book, at least a single book, to kind of get these characters to get closer together. And so I just love the dynamic of the slow burn, waiting a whole book just for something to happen, and it just felt natural to me. Rose is new to all this, so it makes sense as to why they wanted to give her some time to open up to it. Some of the men just didn't want to do anything at all because they are stubborn or they are actually bad people. So I'm excited to kind of see this develop and work toward them actually being together because it feels just natural, and I kind of like that about it. So there is no chapters with smut, so I don't even have to show you how many or the percentage or anything like that. So I'm happy with that. It makes me really happy. Even though I like, intimate things in my books, I like smut in my books, I prefer it over the course of a series rather than the first book. I prefer that myself. I will continue the series. There are 4 more books though, so I'm adding a bunch of new books. I'm adding 6 books? Yes, 6 books with Ensnared, with the Brutes of Bristlewood, and the 5th Nyctavan. With these 2 series combined, I'm adding 6 more books to my series list. In total, 2 more series, which isn't great. I have 13 series are ongoing right now, and I really need to get them down. I want to prioritize near the end of the year reading almost only series if I can. So I'm going to try to do that because I just added 2 new ones, and I didn't need to do that. But I'm also excited because that means I actually enjoyed 2 of the series I started for this video project, which makes me very happy. Before we get out of this video though, let me do a bingo board of Beyond the Faerie Gate. So what tropes does this book have? And all I have to say is yes. That's all I have to say. Yes, it has many tropes. I believe at least half of these have been marked off. So here it is. Boop. That is the bingo board right now. And it is wild. It is wild. In case you're not watching and you're just listening, I will go over them really quickly. There is no bingos, but look how many got close to it. I am almost mad at this because there's so many that almost got it. Almost got it. If I just rearranged them in a different pattern, it would have actually potentially got bingos, but it's fine. Let's go over them really quick. Specific scent, yes, this is mentioned at least a few times. Touch them and die, yes. People even look at her wrong and they try to eviscerate them, so yes. Nicknames, unfortunately, yes. Forced proximity, they are her guards / knights, so yes, they are always close to her at all times. Human growls. I mean, there is a shifter in this book, so it makes sense there's, I guess, a growling guy, but yes, there is growling, especially by Jaro. Female main character or male main character has scars or tattoos. Yes, Bree, the latest addition to the group, has tattoos. MC is unique. Definitely. She is very powerful and she is the queen. So she is a very powerful character, and so she is definitely very unique in her character and abilities. So yes, for Rose. Who did this to you? There was a line where someone said, who did this, or like, who hurt you? It was close enough to who did this to you that I added this, but almost was not in here. But I did add it because it did seem close enough. Fae, definitely. Antagonized to lovers, yes, because one of the characters is her actual enemy to the Fae, and she is a Fae, so yeah, actual enemies to lovers. They are not lovers in this book though, they are still enemies, but they are mates, so that was a fun time. I actually like that character a lot. Fated mates, yep. All 5 of the guys are her fated mates, so fated mates does count. I don't know if that's a spoiler, it's very early on that it mentions this, so yeah, that's what this is. Omegaverse or shifter, there's no Omegaverse in this, but there are shifters in this. Jaro is a shifter, so yes. I almost did book boyfriend, but I don't think I have any book boyfriends. I like Lore, but he's a little bit too much for me. So I did not add that. But with this, let's see what it is with all of them combined. So with every single book combined of this video, let's see if we get a bingo. Da-da-da! And here it is. Look how close this was. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Every single row almost has everything off except for like maybe 2 options. There's no rows that have less than 1 or 2 spots left, and a bunch of them have only 1 spot left. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is abysmal. Beyond the Fairy Gate, you almost had it. You almost did it, and look, it happened. This is upsetting. I don't get anything for it. I know I don't get anything for it, but this still annoys me because of how close this is. It doesn't matter. It's actually fine. There's nothing that matters about this. There's nothing that actually happens from this, so it doesn't matter, right? I had to stop my competitive side from showing, so... Well, okay, we almost got it, bingo. And this is going to be reset every single time I do this video. I probably won't do this video for a bit. I want to get my series down before I start this again. So unfortunately, this is not going to happen, but that's fine. Like I said, I don't get anything from it, so I guess it's no big deal. But I'm still mad about it because look how close that was. So to go over the books I read Ensnared. I gave this a 4 stars. I read Bait, which I only read 30% before DNFing. I gave this nothing because I DNF'd it. I only really rate my DNFs if I read over half of it because I didn't think it was fair, so I just DNF'd it. Not for me. And then of course I read Beyond the Fairy Gate. I gave this a 3.5 stars. So overall, a pretty good amount. I got a DNF, 3.5, and a 4. For me, that's actually pretty good, especially because the first video, again, I did 3 DNFs. This one is actually pretty successful in my opinion, so pretty happy with this, and I'm excited to do it again. I also have a fantasy one, so I'm gonna assume that people are watching this like romance, but I do have a fantasy one. I want to do a fantasy raffle, not as many books as the romance raffle mug, but there are at least, I think, around 50 or so in here, so I want to do a fantasy raffle eventually as well. But again, I want to kind of reduce my series first and also be aware that I will have to read them because I don't want to pick books out and just not read them, so that'd be kind of pointless. Eventually I will do a fantasy one as well as my romance one because I find this to be fun. I don't know if people actually care about this, but I do appreciate people are watching, so if you're watching this, especially because it's over an hour long now, thank you so much for being here and being a part of this because I appreciate anyone that watches my content, and especially really long ones because it's a commitment. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all very much. I'm also updating my Instagram more often. I am putting up like stories once in a while, not all the time, but I'm putting up stories about my life and what I'm reading and how I feel about the books I'm currently reading. And some of the books in this video were like weeks ahead. You were able to actually see me and my opinions as I was reading it. So if you want to go on my Instagram, you can go there. Although I will say I do talk about political things. I talk about what's happening in the world because I am very much someone that does not like to keep quiet about that kind of stuff. So if you're not comfortable with that, then you don't have to follow me. But if you don't mind that kind of stuff and you want to see about my life, then I will be there. Everything is linked down below. I feel like I'm trying to be an influencer. I mean, I guess I'm not. Am I? Ew. I don't want to sound like I'm pushing my stuff onto people. I hate that, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't do that ever, so I hope it's okay. So I'm gonna end the video off here because I feel like I've done enough. I've done enough talking and I'm done with this. I would have liked to have done more content of me actually reading the book like I did with Bait. I find that to be more fun and enjoyable from a watcher standpoint. So I do apologize. I'm planning on doing that more in the future. I will do it, I promise. This time I just didn't have enough storage on my phone because this video was too long. So I didn't have enough storage to kind of add more into it. With that being said though, I plan on doing more in the future, better in the future. I need to do better at vlogging. I'm not the best at it, I'll be honest with you. I do appreciate you all for watching. If you want to leave an emoji down below, either because you want to show support or you don't really have anything else to say, then put an apple or a snake for Ensnared because that was my favorite book of the video. So yeah, an apple or a snake, or if you want to do both, you can do both. Okay, I'm gonna go now. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Hopefully you're reading some good books, and I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye, everyone.